And we talk about affordable housing and how much of a crisis we're in without affordable housing in the community. The prices keep going up, and people can't find a place to live. And we get a developer in here that's willing to work with us on affordable housing, but the only way they can easily do it is to go up, smaller lots, smaller homes, you know, and the neighbors don't like that. The developer really doesn't want to do that necessarily, but if they got to have it in there to get the development done, they're willing to do it. So it's kind of a difficult choice to decide how much affordable housing and how do they do it and how is it feasibly done as part of the development. So, you know, it's not an easy task to decide how to do it all.
Thank you, Tracy Taylor. I just wanted to add to the county's thought process on bonus densities, because I sit in a lot of those meetings, and you can talk to Doug Smith about it. He explained a lot of it is subjective, and that's what they were worried about as well, is that it depended on which council was seated at the time for a lot of those things to be granted, and that really concerned them as well. So that's why they pulled a lot of it out, just to go, look, you get what you get, and everybody gets the same thing, so that no future council could make other interpretations of the same code. The other thing I just want to mention too is open space. There can be usable open space, and not just a trail going next to a ditch or whatever, but that, you know, our Parks and Rec department needs soccer fields really badly throughout the whole valley. And they need a minimum of 10 acres to do 3 or 4 soccer fields with a parking lot and with facilities for the public that actually shows up. As a council, I know in the past you've been very concerned about the cars on Main Street and the cars on all our roads. If you would consider some of this open space being actual soccer fields that these kids, how many kids are going to be in that subdivision? There's going to be over 1,000 kids. And those parents have to get into cars 2-3 times a day to take their kids to different things. And a soccer field can be used for rugby, football practice, lacrosse, a lot of different things. And so instead of just a playground with little kid play area and a retention pond as being your open space, you may consider actual soccer fields that can actually, the kids can go play on, and then, you know, the residents that live next door to it see an open field when the kids aren't there. It's just something to kind of keep in mind when you consider what open space is.
It actually lists soccer fields. I checked on that. And
good.
In 18.61.09 that it listed is, it says active areas, but it would count soccer fields.
So instead of little patches of open space, you collect it all into one spot and actually be able to use it for something. And then one last thing really quickly, you know, all these folks here talking about this annexation that was done a year or 2 ago. To me, that brings up valid concerns by the citizens of annexations at all. That your code needs to be totally vetted before you even consider annexation. Annexation is not something you decide in one evening and you bring a whole new parcel of land into your city without knowing what that zone is before you annex. And then the annexation map prior to that. That is so key to even put things on your annexation map before you've even considered what kind of code would even be up in these areas that are 9,000 acres worth of Sorensen property. Before you even put it on your map, you should know what these things are. Thank you.
Let's move on to item number 6. Industrial zones. Council part of some information maybe should have to share with us concerns on industrial zones.
Oh, I just had a call from someone who had their daughter in a dance class, and the studio had temporarily moved into the industrial zone while they wait for their new building. And I wasn't even necessarily asking for a change. I was trying to get more information to see what was going on there. So it appears that because they were not permitted use. And as I thought about it since then, I thought, I mean, if they want to be there, it seems like they would be the ones who would be instead of anyone else would. So I don't know.
Yeah, so the Board of Adjustment acted on this Tuesday and actually granted the request to consider it as a similar use. There's even an argument that use was they're manufacturing well, now I'd have to give you all the minutes for you to see the Board of Adjustment's arguments, but what it really boiled down to was they felt that the purpose of the industrial area was economic development, and for them that was the biggest thing. They felt that not doing this would be anti-economic development. And that being said, maybe we ought to go back and revisit some of the uses in the industrial zone, if that's what I think. I mean, because as I've gone around the States, frequently I drive by a place and there's a boxing or a dance studio in an industrial area. I think there's some in Linden, I think.
Probably cheaper.
Yeah, and really the issue that the proponent for this pointed out is that you don't find buildings with high ceilings where you can fling cheerleaders up in the air, except in the industrial zone. And so that's a big reason why we see them there. And so, that's...
Isn't that still an SOB zone?
Well, and that is true. I mean, we have a sexually oriented business district out there. Now, it was brought up last year. Nobody really liked to hear it, but there is... federal law says that it's a constitutional right to be a pervert, and so we have to have an SOP zone. People don't like that, but it is true. We probably have to revisit our SOP zone anyway, because since we originally drafted where that location was going to be, the city purchased a significant portion of land in the SOP zone. And I don't think that FAA nor the city are going to approve SOB uses on public land.
What you have to be concerned about is you put the industrial area to the point you're protecting yourself from certain areas of the city. You get another business, like we talked about nuisance tonight. I mean, the smell, the chemicals, the stuff start flooding on the business, and I said, well, they need to go. But actually, that's what it's for, it's an industrial area, and that's what you usually stay with. And also, an SOB zone right next to that dance studio can be dropped in there. And so you don't want that either, so you have to be extremely careful when you start bringing other pieces back into here. You excluded them out in the first place, so they stay over here, so the industrial can do their own thing and not affect others if they ground up and call the news and say, hey, get them out of here now, we're taking over the industrial zone. And that's your business and stuff, and that's why I want to keep it more clean.
And that's my biggest concern is, if we scare all the dirtier type industrial businesses out of there, where are they going to go?
Well, it seems to be made really clear if you go there that they understand some of the less favorable uses, I guess.
Well, you've got the sewer plant out here. We've been trying to develop that property down there. Here comes a smell across the houses, and what house is going to say? Get the sewer plant out here. So you just have to really protect yourself even from the smell that comes from industrial people that you're going to get complaints on from it. So you just basically, I wouldn't cross the line somewhere.
Well, I was kind of waiting to see what the Board of Adjustments did on this, because the biggest concern I have is that I do have to treat everyone the same and fair. Now, if we've allowed this, albeit to the Board of Adjustments, they are an appending to the city. They determined it was an acceptable use then and allowed it.
Right.
So I think that needs to be amended into our industrial zone. I think it's a use now that we're allowing
Right.
by our own Board of Adjustments determination.
Agreed. Agreed.
So they've spoke, I think, and we ought to probably have it on our agenda to add it in next time.
Well, now, understand that a zoning law goes through the
Well,
planning
so they
commission.
ought to take it to the planning commission.
Right, and I'm seeing some nodding heads to go back to the planning commission. Okay, that's what we'll do.
I mean, this was a reversal of their planning decision, but still they spoke, and probably it ought to be relooked at.
Let's move on to item number 7, splash pads. Everybody likes a splash pad. Especially in the wintertime, you make ice cream. Anyway, council wants to talk about a splash pad owned by the cities. Any comments from the council, open, what your thoughts are?
This is mine also. The only reason I sent the message out was I was very concerned when I heard about the school district needing a splash pad, as we had a vision of raising a lot of money and making something that was open to everyone and people wouldn't have to pay. And when we heard that, I was concerned, so I called and talked to the school district, and they asked me directly and said, well, are you still going to do it? And I didn't think it was my decision to say no or not, because it's the council's decision. So I just sent an email to the council. I personally don't think we should. I think that's too much tax money for our citizens. I think it's unfortunate, because I think it would have been a lot better in an open space, not in a parking lot, and a place where everyone could access it that was paying for it, not just people that could pay again to go into the pool.
You have any thoughts about the splash pad?
Well, what strikes me, other councilman's email, I was completely in agreement with. I don't think it's a cost-effective use for the amount of months, but I think it ought to be at least a comment that Tracy can record and put on her taxpayer page. It seems to be worried about expenditures, that when we looked into doing it, if it was the will of the council, we're, in our materials suggest we can do one for $153,000. So I guess we must be a lot more frugal than the school district, $600,000.
600,000.
So I just want that to be on the record, I guess. We can do ours for 153, and we still think it's too much. How's that?
There's still got impact people involved with that too.
It's only a 40 by 40.
What's the ongoing?
I think that's probably the real issue.
Yeah.
We've always looked at this in the past as a non-recirculating system because of the maintenance that's required on the treatment system, and there's more mechanical things that go wrong. And I don't know, we've got several $1,000s worth of water, and you probably have a person that's going to dedicate 10 to 20 hours a week to maintain it.
So back to the impact and the discussion we had a while ago today. The schools surely aren't going to operate that in winter. So that water that they're going to recirculate, where do they keep that in winter?
They'll have underground storage tanks and some kind of a treatment system attached to it that recirculates. And it has basically a 90-day period from the 1st of June to the end of August that would be a viable activity in this valley.
So, I mean, as the city looks at that, I mean, they need to, they can't recirculate it entirely, because every year they're going to have to start it over, is what I'm getting.
So I just got a text from Mark Brown before I walked in during the first part of this meeting, and he gave me the impression that we would probably go through 12 to 1,800 gallons per week. So we'd empty the tank every few days and recirculate. So it's not as much as we were looking at a 30 to 40,000 gallons a day going right into the sewer.
But ours is smaller than the school, I consider.
That's the thing you're competing
But
with.
no real amenities, no features, other than a lot of it squirts out of ground.
Okay, sounds like Jeff, you had a comment on splash pad?
No, if I got my grandkids and they want to splash, we'll put them on the school. That's the old fashioned way.
Spoken like a true account.
Heidi, you want to comment? Good, oh, wonderful. Item number 8, city before Christmas party, December 2nd.